We can thank Coastline for that nice lunch. Phil Beard always does a nice job for me whenever I need something special. And I want to thank all the folks in the kitchen. That's all Coastline staff too, and they work really hard getting this all ready for us. So big thank you to Coastline for all of this. So we're kind of doing this a little bit backwards because we sent the food out first. So if you wouldn't mind standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And while we're standing, if we could just have a moment of silence, please, for those who gave the ultimate sacrifice and for our veterans who have been with us over the years and are no longer here. Okay, thank you.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
So I would just like to make a few acknowledgments first as we get started here. I want to thank Selectman Charlie Murphy. He's here today. And he always makes time to come to anything at the senior center, so thank you, Mr. Murphy, for that. I just want to mention that Selectman Espindola emailed me to say that he was not going to be able to make it because he was tied up at work with a big meeting, and he was really disappointed in that because this is one of his favorite events, and he's sorry that he couldn't be here. I'd like to announce my board members here at the COA. Francis Cox, chairperson. Jack Olivera, vice chairperson. Leah Leah, secretary. Joan Mello, member. Robert Ryan, member, associate member. Carol Burr, associate member. And Susan Ostad, associate member. So while I'm reading off all of our beautiful veterans here, name, branch, and years served, I'm going to, they're going to be serving your dessert, apple pie and ice cream. Okay. Jack Olivera, Army, 2 years. Dorothea Machado, Navy, 2.5 years. Bob Garvin, Marines, 3 years. We have Brad Fish, who is our veterans agent in Fairhaven, Marine Corps and / Army, 23 years. Marcel Barabee, Navy, 2 years. William Anselmo, Army. How many years, Mr. Anselmo? I didn't get that from you. 6 years, Army. William Anselmo. Hank Crochelle, Army, 4 years. James Gagney, Navy, 4 years. Roland Bosvert, Army, 2.5 years. Paul Chichardo, Army, 31 years. The money he's getting. Bill Como, Army, 2 years. John Ryan, Navy, 4 years. Francis Cox, Air Force, 4 years. Richard Santos, Air Force, 4 years. Howard Burt, Army. Howard, is Howard here? How many years? 20. 20 years. 4 years in the Air Force. And 16 in the Army? What? Joe Borelli, Civil War. No, Air Force, 4 years. Sumner Seguin, Army, 6 years. Jerry Brecken, Navy, 4 years. Ed Miller, Army, 5 years. Frank Vieira, Navy, 2 years. Robert Hoppy Hobson, Navy, 6 years.
He's over there.
2 years active, 2 years inactive.
He told,
That'll work.
Hoppy, 2 and 2 is 4, and you told me 6.
You can't add. Look at him.
That's why I'm losing it.
All right, so let's do that again. 2 years active, Navy. Okay. Alfred Audette, Army, 3 years. Edmund Tavaz, Navy, 2 years. Bob Costa, Army, 8.5 years. Is Ethel Costa here? How many years, sweetheart? 3 years, Navy nurse. Joe Sylvia, Air Force, 3 years. Robert Garvin, Marines, 3 years. Paul Simmons, he's one of my COA drivers, Army, 6 months. And Frank Barcelos, he's another COA driver, and he always drives the van in the Veterans Day and Memorial Day parade. He's Army, 2 years. We have some friends with us today from the Atria Assisted Living. We have Manny Cordero, Navy, 3 years. They're sitting at that table there. We have Albert Gonsalves, Navy, 2 years. We have Dick Shortle, Navy, 4 years. We have Jack Pacheco, Air Force, 3.5 years. We have Antone Oliveira, Army, World War II, 6 months. Richard Pyers, Army, 2 years. And Nick LaRocca, Coast Guard, 5 years. Did I miss anyone? Please, I hope not. I'm just noticing that Mr. Reese is here. I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Reese, as town administrator. Thank you for coming. Did I? I said it?
Ron Claflin, Army, guided missiles, 3 years.
Ron Claflin, Army, guided missiles,
Yeah.
3 years. This is a test for me. And that's, I have everybody now, right? Who? Oh! Oh, I didn't see Bob's here. Okay. Selectman Espandola made it. I was just saying that you had a big meeting. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Selectman Espandola. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge some folks, some veterans that have been attending this event for so many years, and with the past 2 years we've lost these folks. So I just want to remember Al Borges. I think of Al every day when I walk by the bench out there. Pete Soroy and his beautiful wife is here to represent him today, Mrs. Soroy. Lionel Delude, prisoner of war. Freddie Landry and Leslie Trott. So, at this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Brad Fish, the Fairhaven Veterans Agent, if he'd like to come up and say a few words.
I hope everybody had a great lunch. Veterans Day is a special day for all veterans because we're celebrating everybody that joined the service. Just want to let you know that in our office, we have plenty of benefits to give out through the state of Massachusetts. I also do federal benefits for anybody that needs them. I have an administrative assistant that's awesome, Jane. She's the best. If I'm not in the office, she can do just about everything in that office, so you're good to go. Quick note, we have a Veterans Day parade starting at 10 o'clock from Benoit Square on Monday morning. I'd love to see all you veterans out there marching with us, so feel free just to show up. Sunday morning, I will be on WBSM radio at 8 o'clock talking about veterans benefits and the town of Fairhaven. Other than that, enjoy. Thank you, Ann, for what you do for the veterans, because you do so much here. It's really appreciated. I'll be here after lunch, so if you have any questions, feel free to come up and talk to me. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm going to also ask James Gagney from the DAV if he would come up and just let everybody know what's going on over at the DAV at 19 Willis Street, my buddies.
Thank you, Ann. I just want to thank all the veterans here for the service that they did, and welcome home everybody that came home, those especially Vietnam veterans that didn't get a welcome home. Now, what we do at the DAV is we're all volunteers over there. We have service officers that help do benefits that veterans didn't get when they first got out. So, like my junior vice says, you don't become a veteran until you're about 50 years old, okay? And what he means by that is that most of the younger veterans, which we got to try and get a hold of, don't really join organizations till they're around 50 years old and up. So we try and reach out to get the younger veterans as well as that. So New Bedford will have a Veteran Day parade. It'll be at 11 o'clock. So those veterans that live in New Bedford are going that one there. Now, and if you can't march, there's always a vehicle that can take you. You know, so rather than stand on corners, I always tell the guys, it's your day. You should be in the parade on that. Okay. So if there's any questions, I'll be around afterwards. Everything. All right. Thank you for everything.
All righty. So, every Veterans Day, before Veterans Day, the Beacon Hospice contacts me. Beacon Hospice does, of course, provides hospice to anyone, but they're extremely they, I don't want to say concentrate, but they are very, very good with the veterans in hospice. And so what we partner with Beacon Hospice, they provide red, white, and blue yarn, and we advertise in the neighborhood news in our newsletter if there's any ladies or men, whoever, that want to knit or crochet an Afghan, red, white, and blue, any pattern, anything goes, to come to the senior center because Beacon donates all this yarn, and we give them the yarn, and they either knit or crochet some stunning Afghans. And they couldn't be here today. I have about 20 of them in my office. They couldn't be here to pick them up because they are so busy with veterans. This is a big week for them. But I would like to read off the names of the ladies who participated in this. It's really such a nice project. So the ladies that received yarn or purchased their own yarn, because some did, Helena Rose, Linda Deglinski, Katrina DeSantos, Sylvia Brunette, Nancy Randall, Sandy Burris, Eleanor Crowell, Leslie McGuire, Linda McCaffrey, Jane Rhoda, Marion Purington, Pam DePina, Becky Baker, Cecile Gardon, and Chris Alphonse. And I just want to show you what these ladies can do. This is one sample. Nice. And this is another. It's a lot of time. And it's greatly appreciated by the veterans in hospice that receive one of these. So a huge thank you to Beacon for helping us, providing us with all this yarn, and an even huger thank you to all these ladies who put all their time into this project. A really, really nice project. All righty. On the tables, you'll see our newsletter for November, and you will notice that it's covered with veterans, and all of the veterans on this page are on my wall. And Jackie Kenworthy, she pretty much does our whole newsletter for us. She's absolutely amazing. She took individual pictures of each picture and created this collage. I put a couple on each table, but there are more newsletters on the counter in the back if you want a copy of this. So I want to thank Jackie Kenworthy for all her hard work to do this. Jackie just likes to fly under the radar. She doesn't like credit for anything, but she's so, so amazing, and just a huge thank you to Jackie. Again, I want to thank Southern Mass Credit Union for sponsoring this event again, and for coming out of your busy day and taking time to serve us, and we really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Just a reminder, just to roll off of what Brad was saying about the parade. So the parade, we always provide a van for any veterans who want to ride. The van will be here at 8:45, leaving here about 9 o'clock to head to the parade. where the parade's going to kick off. So if anybody wants to hop on board and ride, either maybe you want to march, but you just want to park your car here and ride down to the parade route, that's fine too. But it's, thanks to Frank Barcelos for doing that for us. And just in closing, I just have a very short poem that I would like to read. It's called On Veterans Day. While we were here at home, they traveled land and sea to make sure we stayed safe, to protect and keep us free. Words are not enough to give them what they're due. On Veterans Day, please thank them for their service to me and you. And that was a poem written by Joanna Fuchs. So I want to thank everybody for coming here today. It's one of my favorite days of the year here at the Senior Center. I appreciate all of you, and thank you very much.